Ah, hello everybody. It's Tuesday. There he is. Hey everybody, welcome to Tuesday of Night Attack. I'm Bryce Castillo here to lead you through the show. We're gonna do the show here in a bit. But we're doing the pre-show, so I get a little chance to talk to you guys. Hi everybody. Hi everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. So so MDTA UK is saying, well, it's Wednesday in the United Kingdom. And yes, that's how time zones work, right? It's always kind of 2 days at any given time. But I posted a thing on the Night Attack Twitter, which is from the Discord, nightattack.tv/Discord, and it was just people saying Tuesday. And all day, like, it was not very many people, but it was enough notifications. I was like, all right, guys, yes, you live in Australia. It's not Tuesday still. You're 12 hours ahead of us. But I'm just like, come on, you can't. We've got better discourse than this, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that's better than any number of other things that are on Twitter. Anyway, hello, it's Tuesday. We're listening to Cassiopeia's Light and Shadows today. New one. I had not seen this one on YouTube. YouTube just recommended it to me. It's good. Normally, I kind of end up just going with, if I see something that YouTube recommends and I know the name, I'll go with it. So, this is more of a recent Cassiopeia. This is from 1997. I guess it's not like current Cassiopeia, which is like a lot of new folks, but yeah, Cassiopeia. I don't know. I love Cassiopeia. It's great. And Bombo Cube is asking if I'm hiding the label. No, it's just kind of. There's only one place I can drink out of, my man, and it's on the side that has the label. So I'm drinking Eastsiders as usual. But it's Tuesday, everybody. So we got a good day coming up for you. We got a good game. Stephen Cogswell, who was already the music impresario of this operation. Not only does he have a new cold open song for us. Oh, that's cute. Not only does he have a cold open song for us, he put together this game. He put together a game for us. So we're gonna play a game about some of the music that he's made, and you've heard at the beginning of the show for years now. So that's gonna be pretty good. And then I don't know what else. It'll be Brian. It'll be Justin. I'll be around. Bonnie might show up. Who knows? Yeah. So Open Bio asks, what do you think of the Xbox SAD or the SAD? That's right. So we'll do a little bit of video games here. How about that? Yeah. So Microsoft announced, or Xbox announced, whatever. During their Inside Xbox show today, they confirmed that they were launching the Xbox One S all digital. And they had this big cutesy skit of like, how do you take the disc out and someone hits the delete key, and that's and I think it's priced at like what, $250? Is that right? Or $200? They're saying it's going to, their suggested retail sales strategy is for it to be $50 less than the whatever Xbox One S there is right now, which is I guess fine. It also comes with a few games. It comes with Minecraft. It comes with Sea of Thieves. It comes with Forza Horizon 3, not 4, the new one, but 3. I feel like it comes with another game, but it comes with a few games pre-installed, and yeah, it's all digital. So if you have any disc-based games, you're not gonna be able to play them. You can't transfer them over on a hard drive. But the big deal is like, well, Game Pass is gonna be a thing. Some people will like Game Pass. If you have digital stuff, that'll move over too. Oh, Mike TV, thank you for the raid. Mike TV Live's here with the raid here. Their raid message is, Mike TV Live is here with 3,000 megatons of birthday packets for at Alex Perth because it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Alex Perth! Happy birthday! Happy birthday. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a thing that you do. So it's a 1 terabyte hard drive, which I think is kind of their standard now on some of their bundles. I think it's fine. I think for a lot of people, they will take advantage of it. A lot of people want to be all digital, and it is a pretty cheap way to get in that ecosystem. I do think this generation of hardware is not as long in the tooth as, say, the PlayStation 3 and the 360 was. So even though we're ostensibly in the last probably 18 months before new hardware comes out, the prices are kind of getting down, but they're not down near the end of life where the PS3 and the 360 were. So I do think that it just being $50 cheaper than the regular Xbox One S without kind of more general price reduction seems weird. I mean, I guess if it's competitive with the play, I don't know the price of any of these things right anymore. So, but it does seem like, well, we're kind of getting up there. You guys are running out of games for this hardware lineup, so I think the prices would come down. So that's kind of my thought on it. But yeah, I mean, Xbox Game Pass looks pretty cool. So the other thing that was Wired has an interview with Mark Cerny, who is the system architect for PlayStation, the PlayStation line. Talking about some of the stuff with the PlayStation 5, taking advantage of ray tracing, not just for visuals, but also for audio processing. So because ray tracing doesn't necessarily have to be light; it can be audio. I mean, audio does bounce and reflect and absorb and refract. So that'll be an interesting thing. He was talking about 3D audio, and I guess some system level stuff to do that. The 3D audio is a good idea. I think in general, I don't seem to notice even a stereo effect when I'm playing on my TV. But if you're playing on headphones, that stuff could be worth talking about. He also was talking, he didn't really have like direct hard numbers, but he, was showing off a part of Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4 and then part of it on a PlayStation 5 dev kit, and the load times were like some stupid time faster. And so maybe that's cool. They're saying it's going to be backwards compatibility. I do wonder, they've been pushing developers to do stuff for the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X. These sort of enhanced consoles to say like, hey, build these games such that they can take advantage of more powerful hardware. And assuming that the next Xbox will also be backwards compatible, that was one of the things that the PS5 will be PS4 backwards compatible. If part of the PS4 is like, oh, also, it will be backwards compatible and it will treat it like a PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox One X, right? And these enhanced versions of games, but possibly even better because even those games are sort of hitting hardware limits. That would be a pretty interesting proposition. So that's video games. But yeah, join the Discord. We talked a little bit about this in the Discord. nightattack.tv/Discord is where you can join in on all the fun. We have a bunch of channels in there. A bunch of good stuff. Oh, yes. Hopefully, yes, this is the thing that I was looking for. But yeah, Tuesday. It's Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. I tried watching a little bit more of that Xbox Inside Xbox stream that they did, but it kind of wasn't what I thought it would be, and so and so I don't know. It was very like, it was set up like any number of like variety of video game talk shows, right? Like an Xbox, like, oh, I'm gonna interview the head of Xbox's services division, but it's like, also you were just on the pre-show that commentated, like this is all in, I don't know. So that's so Eisner guy 1 is saying that Joker is coming to Smash. So Persona 5, the main character is the new DLC character in Smash. New. But yeah, that'll be neat. I said that there was they did a full resolution render, and it's a good looking character model. It kind of matches a little more with the art style of the game, so that'll be interesting. I don't know. I don't know. What else is going on? So I was talking. I've been trying to get myself to spend a little time playing games more, because I mentioned last week I'm mostly playing stuff on my phone lately. Apparently found a different core for the RetroArch emulator system for the Switch for the Game Boy Advance, and then it actually worked. I spent like a whole bunch of time trying to get one Game Boy Advance core working, and it didn't work, and then I loaded up and I just find another one that works like immediately. So I've actually started playing Advance Wars a little bit. I don't know how long I'm gonna play it, partially because they make you play through this long training exercise. Maybe there's a way to skip to the end of it, but it's very much like I do kind of know how these games play. And also because what's the other game that looks like Advance Wars that just came out on the Switch? War Groove is not what it's called. Someone might know. But I also have that and have been playing that a little bit, which is why this tutorial for Advance Wars is so agonizing. Because it's like, yes, I know how to select tiles and move them and attack. People are saying MGBA is the best. I think that was the one that was giving me trouble. I think I ended up with VGBA or something like that. I don't know. So I've been playing that. I also there's the Rhythm Heaven games. They have the first one was a Game Boy Advance game. Someone opened a door and then closed it. So that's very cool. They made a GBA game of the Rhythm Tengoku games. And the latency stuff with the Switch is not, especially with emulation, is not so good that you can play a rhythm game like that. Maybe if they port the DS one, which is all touch, maybe that'll be a little more responsive. But yeah, that's tough. And I wanted to play it because I've never played the original. I've played Rhythm Heaven or Rhythm Tengoku Gold. I have the Wii game, which I've played a bunch of. I have the 3DS game that they just made, the Mega Mix collection, and those are good games. But I really like the touch bit from the DS game, and they like pretty much got rid of that on all these other games afterwards. The playing is like, yeah. So that's a little bit of what. Oh, and the other thing. Okay, so I was talking to Jason Murphy. I was giving Jason a ride home the other day, and I was trying to explain to him this game that I've been playing. It's Work Time Fun. It's a PSP game. If you know it, you understand why it's very hard to talk to anybody about that game, or talk about why you would spend any amount of time with it without sounding like a complete lunatic, a complete like crazy psycho. But it's a game where you kind of take these like part-time jobs, and they're all like awful, menial jobs, or a lot of them are. Some of them are fun, interesting ideas, but especially the ones that you start off with are pretty mind-numbing. There's one where you have to put caps on pens. There's one where you have to catch like batting practice. So there's a batting practice, and you have to catch the hits. There's one where you can't. My favorite one is the traffic counter one, where you're like on the screen, and you see people walk by kind of in waves, and you have to count the people who walk by. What I love about that game specifically is that they have. Let me see if I can pull it up, because it's hard to. Oh, here's an image for it. This will be perfect. So you are the only like UI for this game is like this, where you're looking at the screen, but there's a little head here. There's a little Doom guy here. And when you're in the second round, he starts to and the people are walking by, he goes and there's a little mouth bubble that's like, oh, it's so hard. And it's just it's stupid, but but I and the other thing is, like, you know, that this is the counter, and it's like it almost looks like a first person shooter, and so it clicks when you click the button, and it's a very funny, like, not even a joke. But I don't know, I've been playing it a little bit because there are some bits of it that are really interesting that I had liked playing, but it is really tough, and there are a lot of games that are just unwinnable or not fair or not good. And the reward for a lot of them is pretty bad. You know, this traffic counter game, I like this traffic counter game also because it's relatively really easy and you can make a ton of money on it, in-game money on it, where the rest of them are just difficult or menial. So that's kind of what that is. But yeah, it's MDT UK was saying Ace Attorney is another game where the premise sounds dull, but it's so fun. I think at least with Ace Attorney, that is a well-trodden genre, right? Like, it's a visual novel. It's like a visual novel meets like a mystery, and you're just or an adventure game even. It really is like an adventure game. You're just putting the right items in the right place at the right time, which obviously there's more. There's more to it, but yeah, I don't know. Work time fun, man. It's such a weird fucking little thing, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. One day I just want to get like all the games and just try out all the games, because I don't think in the time that I've had PSPs and I've played the game before, but in the time I've never played like all of the games, and now that I have that traffic counter game and I make a lot of money with it. MDT UK says it looks like a WarioWare game. It kind of is, but it's like the opposite of WarioWare, right? Because WarioWare is all about micro games where you play a game for like 5 seconds and you just have to do one thing really quick. And because it's like that, you kind of build the speed up. Rhythm Heaven is kind of similar too, also partially designed by the guy who did WarioWare, excuse me. But it's the opposite, right? It's a game where you're doing one thing for either a very long time, or you're doing something impossible and you're just constantly trying over and over again. I see it says mundanity as a surface. Yeah. So that's kind of what I've been up to a little bit. And I've been going back and rewatching Boondocks. Hulu's got the Boondocks. Man, that show was ahead of its time in a lot of ways. See the R. Kelly episode in season 1. Also just really good and pretty funny. So here we go. All right, let's see if we did we get any videos? We had a few things here. Okay, so I saw this. I have not played Sekiro. I know it's a Soulsy game, right? It's a Soulsy game that people like for some reason. So someone posted this in the Preshow and Funny Videos channel on the Discord. This is from @lowcode2525. Biggest Sekiro debate ever. I don't know what a debate is. Okay, so she cut off the head of like a monkey. Shinobi execution.
Yes! Boom, baby! Woo! I always gotta wait until... No!
Oh!
No! You gotta be kidding me!
Yeah, okay. Here we go. Yeah, Sekiro. That's a game. I wish I knew more about it. I don't know. I haven't played it. Mostly because I tried playing Bloodborne the other day and was like, no, thank you. And I don't think playing Sekiro is going to change that. Much in the way I thought Bloodborne might change that for Dark Souls. How's it looking, Brian?
Hey, you're good.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, this is from ICU, so maybe we'll wait until the guys get here. Anybody else have funny videos? We can take a look at some funny videos if you've got links. If you got any links. Doodly-doodly-doo. Yeah, man. What else is going on in the news? Here's a thing. Here's a thing. Avengers. Avengers talk today.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, get on the microphone and turn the microphone
Yeah,
on. Yeah,
perfect time. Perfect time.
okay.
I was listening to
Brian
AM
Brush, whatever.
radio
Yes.
this morning, and then they start talking about the MCU. I'm like, what is there, a political take on this? And then they reveal that stuff got leaked.
Yes.
Which, by the way, you know what? I'm going to leave my glasses off in the hopes that I can't read the chat.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, don't. But yeah. So apparently, 4 minutes of footage from what is reportedly the middle to end of the movie,
With fairly significant surprises revealed, right?
Surprise is not the word that I would use to describe it, at least from my understanding.
Oh, do you know? Do you know what it is?
No, but I've seen people talk around it.
Oh. See, I don't like.
I know enough of a specific thing that I don't even want to say what type of thing it is.
That's great.
But I wouldn't call it a surprise.
You would or would not?
Would not.
Would not. Okay.
Would not.
All right. Cool.
But yeah, apparently it looks like some leaked footage from some localization team probably got posted on the internet, and it's out there. Apparently, it's out there. But I don't know how long it took for the coordinated campaign of hashtag. What is the hashtag? Don't spoil Endgame or something like that.
Oh, I don't even know about that.
The Russo brothers did the thing that kind of every Marvel movie it seems is doing nowadays. There's like a week or two before it comes out. There's a handwritten or a hand printed letter, saying, "Hey, we love you guys. Don't
we worked really hard.
Yeah, don't spoil the movie." Which for me, I get it, especially if there's like an active spoiler vector out there, I guess.
Right.
But also, that's every movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's really strange because it used to be the reverse. It used to be like if what you wanted to do was sell tickets to Empire Strikes Back, then you wanted everybody to say, and at the end, he finds out that Vader's his dad. Mm-hmm. Like, no, because there was that perception that this might be all so much guff, and that is Johnny right? Is Larry from downtown right or whatever? And so you would go to see the movie, you're like, son of a bitch, the rumors were true. But we live in a post-rumor life now where it's like, no, here's the actual footage, and then instantly you're like, okay, well, I guess that's where we're at now.
Well, and also, like, I think the difference between, say, Star Wars premiering in real time versus any Marvel movie coming out is nothing that happens in Endgame will surprise me. I don't think the thing that anyone is interested in, which is like, who is really going to survive at the end of this long movie?
Right.
No part of that is going to surprise me.
Right.
And then the rest is just action bits. So if there's cool action bits, maybe that's interesting. But I don't know. It feels weird to me. And then the conspiratorial part of my brain was like, well, because the other thing is, how Twitter will do like, I don't know if these are sponsored hashtags or like brand integration hashtags, but when you do an hashtag and it's got like a special little image that it puts in your tweet.
Oh.
Like when you do like hashtag Game of Thrones, it puts a little Iron Throne next to it.
Oh. Hey, by the way, press pause on this.
Okay.
Side jag.
Sure.
Motherfucking Oreos. They got Game of Thrones branded Oreos.
Oh, sure.
With the 3 lines and the O's, and then it says like for the throne. I'm like, no. Okay. No! Incest! It's a movie about murder of children and incest.
Sure.
And it's like, yeah, but will it sell our fucking cookies that are more addictive than cocaine?
And the answer is yes. By a long shot. Because they printed
Nabisco.
Because they printed the little houses on the thing.
You, Nabisco!
And also Black
Can't
Panther.
you let something be dark and sinister on its own? Can't. Oh, wait, but did you say there's money involved? No, we cannot. Well, you have to tie it in with the Oreo. We want you to think about Oreos when you're watching fucking Tyrion murder somebody.
Yes, dilly dilly.
Killing his fucking dad. Yeah, it was bad enough. Oh, you motherfucker. What are you doing? It was bad enough when somebody just cashed in with a shitty fucking Party City knockoff of Game of Thrones. We all know what you're doing. We get it.
Sure.
Swear to fucking Christ. All right, sorry. Back to...
Hashtag don't spoil Endgame. They had this big tweet. All of the actors were posting the tweet or posting the image of the letter, and they had the hashtag. And the hashtag had the little image next to it. It had a little, I don't know what it was, but it was some picture that brands do.
It was the Hulk taking a dump.
It was probably the Hulk
That's
taking
the
a dump.
new campaign.
And it just made me go, well, now this is marketing. Like, how long were you waiting to do a deal or go through Twitter's marketing thing?
I am certain that the PR team has contingency plans. And when shit breaks bad, you break the seal, you open it, you pull out the decoder ring.
Like an Oreo.
Swear to God, man.
Because they have the rippable tops.
And then it's like, so spoilers have come out for movies. It reminds me of, there used to be a sitcom called WKRP in Cincinnati.
Okay.
And there was a tornado that was coming in. And it was like holy shit, do we stay on the air? We have to...
In the show.
Yeah. And then, but the only government American civil defense guide they had was for if we're invaded by communists. So they basically pop it open, and he goes attention. They're like, just say the word tornado. And it's like Cincinnati is being invaded by godless tornadoes. If you see a tornado, then hide immediately. And so I am certain they have some version of that where it's like, whatever your movie is, insert MacGuffin,
oh, sure.
This is the playbook.
Sure. It just it made me think, well, there are more tools than ever for especially Disney to control video content on the internet. In the form of things like Content ID, DMCA, but the other thing, and whatever, marketing.
You're right, because all the big players, the ecosystems that
they have
almost
the most
everybody
access to it.
Plays, that everybody hangs out at. Like, certainly, you could throw it on the Pirate Bay or whatever, and you can't stop it, right?
Sure.
But
then you can start picking up IP addresses.
Correct, yeah. And where polite society spends the most of their day, they can control the conversation in that.
Sure.
Did you hear about this, Bonnie, about the 4 minutes of Avengers Endgame coming out?
No.
Yeah, she didn't even hear about it. And well, what's funny is my point about the AM radio thing was that they weren't geeks. I didn't trust them. I heard them talking. They were like, did you hear about the Endgame? I was like, I don't know what you guys are going to say, but I don't trust you. So instead, I went to fucking NPR and listened to how
Why are you mad on NPR?
About how $500 million has been donated to save that poor church.
Oh God!
What?
It's going to be
a cultural land. Okay, hold on.
Yes,
this is getting away from my thing.
Yes, it is. It's also free advertising for the maker of Louis Vuitton handbags, who currently has the #1 spot of pledging the greatest amount, and as a result, everybody's talking about those handbags. I'm sure it was out of altruism for the cultural arts.
I mean, that's okay. Yes, but that's also the same reason that every time there was a humble game bundle, Notch was the first person to donate, and it would be like $10,000.
Sure.
In any case, this is all getting away from my other point, which is, at the end of the day, that's marketing. You have to handle it some way.
By the way, I want to thank Rene Gu for giving 2 bits for the Notre Dame. For Notre Dame.
Thank you. Number 3 on our bit leaderboard. The other thing was, because I feel like the other Marvel movies have had very similar social media pushes, right? Of like, hey, or even maybe not just Marvel movies, but big movies coming out is like, hey, our movie's coming out. You guys are going to see it soon. Please don't spoil it for people. Please be good.
Sure.
And part of me thinks like, is the subtext on that they want people to get off of social media so they can't see even impressions about it? Because I see people who are like, oh, I set up block lists, so if someone says Endgame, it won't show up. If someone says Avengers, it won't show up. And part of me thinks at least a silver lining in all of this is that it will limit how much any negative or critical press on a film someone will be exposed to.
I think...
I think it's a non-zero thing, but I
think,
don't think it's insidious or deliberate.
I think that might be a second or third step in of a knock-on effect. I think mainly what they're going for is establishing an anchor of hello, it's us, the creators. This is the norm we are hoping will happen. And now that we've said it, for you to do anything other than that will be you intentionally deciding to subvert the norm we have expressly indicated we want. And that is pretty powerful. And as Tom Merritt says, you get the chat room you deserve because you set out those expectations. So I think this goes all the way back. I remember when I was at the movie theater in projection, Steven Spielberg sent out like 5,000 hand-signed letters reminding people that this is a really important piece of art to him culturally. It's our history and so on. Also, you'll notice it's a very long movie, so that means it's going to be more prone to dust buildup, and presentation is key on all of this stuff. So we're all living our lives here, but if you could, here's some best practices to make sure that this longer than usual film gets the exquisite presentation that it definitely deserves to have. And that attention to detail, I think, all of that adds up. I think that's the first wave effect of it. And I think that even though it's a weakened, virtualized version of it in tweet form, I think that's the spirit of what they're trying to do.
I want to get your take on this in one sec, but at least with the Steven Spielberg thing, that feels like specialized information, right? Like, especially if it's to projectionists, right? Like, hey, these are some things about the craft. But for Mark Ruffalo to tweet, hey, don't spoil my movie, I feel like, well, I don't.
I think that's the low effort involvement that you get from somebody who generally wants it to do well, but isn't being paid for this to be the hill that he dies on.
But I just mean everybody. I mean everyone posting the same letter from the Russos.
Sure, but like when The Expanse was on the chopping block to not get renewed, I remember seeing a couple of videos that it very clearly was like, oh, this is not the character, this is the actor, and this is a webcam, and he's definitely not accustomed. He hasn't run these lines before. He's like, hey team, we really gotta, for The Expanse, we gotta expand even bigger. Let's go, Expanse. Half an Expanse is not enough. Bye.
Wait, did it get renewed?
No. Well, they got
bought by Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon saved the day. Which is probably why, because I think everybody knew it's like, we're gonna find a home. So you decide that it's not gonna be the hill you die on.
Hey, Justin.
Wait, what the hell are we talking about?
So we're talking about
Endgame.
And this letter that the Russos wrote, but then took a photo of, and is saying, please don't spoil the movie. And
Did they do that for Infinity War too?
Yeah, I think that there wasn't 4 minutes of leaked footage for Infinity Wars.
So,
is there? I didn't know that there was a. I didn't know that there was a leak.
Yeah, I was
late movie footage that has been leaked of the film.
yeah, and you didn't know that the Notre Dame thing was a publicity stunt for this movie, right? Like that was, like they were in character fighting the fire and stuff. And no, that didn't go over. No.
Well, because I was wondering if like it was a
we say
publicity
that?
stunt for God. He's just like, hey man, arson, that's big. Everyone will be talking about it.
They still love fire,
they're
right?
really getting them talking before Easter. This is a big weekend for them.
Oh my
Oh
God.
God, right? It's
I just learned something, by the way.
that it's almost Easter because
Well,
I forgot it.
Yeah, no, I just learned something from my kindergarten. She said, do you know that if you make your middle finger straight and point it up, that means you hate God? But if you make your middle finger straight and you point it down, that means you hate the devil. So I'm going to do this all the time. And I'm like, no, well.
Who said that? This is Callie?
Kelly. Yeah, well,
I thought you said kindergarten teacher. I was like, that's
No, but the teacher is the one that said you hate God if you show your middle finger or something.
yeah, I don't know where.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, well, I don't
It
think.
seems like a bold move by a kindergarten teacher to be encouraging kindergartners to be making a middle finger and doing anything. Right? Like that seems to be a pretty wild statement.
No, I'm pretty sure this was playground talk. So
This is
amongst
playground
themselves.
That does sound like that. Yeah.
And then we decide, and then we're talking about it. I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get in trouble pointing it up or down. So how about we just do rock on or gig 'em or
Well, what's gig 'em?
Wait, no, not.
Gig 'em is
Gig
the
'em.
thumbs up, and then hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns.
is-
Hook 'em,
yeah.
is
sure,
the-
Yeah.
Gig 'em. I did not
Gig
know.
'em, yeah. Gig 'em
Justin, have
Aggies.
you heard gig 'em?
That's A&M,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
the
Oh.
sworn arch rivals of University of Texas.
Oh, Texas talk. I see. Oh.
Texas trash.
Well,
Hey,
I didn't say that. You said
Justin, which is the most offensive Game of Thrones merchandise tie-in you've run across yet?
Oh, jeez.
Burned down cathedrals. I don't know.
Body. Okay. If your theory's proven true.
I actually, for whatever reason, Game of Thrones has kind of escaped my radar of like they sold out. Like they haven't gone to Kiss yet. Like for whatever reason, it still is this franchise that I'm very excited is getting the kind of hype that it has. So every time that I see the like Johnny Walker, White Walker edition, I'm like, hey, look at you. Go get some more money.
That's
You
fine.
deserve
That's on
Yeah,
brand.
totally.
I ran across Oreos with the O's with the 3 stripes on it.
Jesus, that's crazy. I mean, I guess the thing is, I would say anything that is kid related probably should not exist.
Yep.
Right.
Agreed. Like,
I don't know if Oreos is kid related.
are you kidding me?
it's
Oreos
certainly
is-
family friendly, but everyone's got a snack.
Oreos
Okay,
is
so here's what you do.
more addictive
okay,
than
here
crack.
we go. I gotta. Hey man, I'm just blue sky in here.
Bonnie, now you got to test both.
No, hey, listen, guys. Nabisco. I'm gonna sell you so much. You're gonna make so much money. We got the perfect tie-in. Oh, Oreos. You know what I love about Oreos is you grab a couple of twins that are rubbing up against each other, and you split them apart, and you fill it with cream.
Okay.
When you eat an Oreo, you're eating the cream between the twins.
Hey, what? That sounds legit. Yeah,
Never
I mean,
forgot.
Also, you know who's not there? The kid I pushed out a window. Fuck you, Oreos.
that's the thing is, well, but everybody who's doing it, they're doing it for the parties, right? This is what they understand that there's 5 weeks, and many people are going to do parties for
And I do understand that.
or if not, some of them in between. I'm sure that there's some people that are like, hey, what? Congratulations. For a month, we all hang out on Sundays and everybody comes over and we'll have all the fucking tie-ins.
And I do understand that this is reaping. I mean, they've given us the greatest artistic gift in television, full stop. And now they get to reap all of the rewards, right? But,
yeah.
I
I mean, because also apparently they're spending like $50 billion per episode this season. So
$15,
HBO's like,
$15 million.
everybody
$15.
who wants to give us money? Like, we'll have Targaryen Lannister check cashing. Always pay your debts on time with these payday loans.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. They have Monopoly.
Yeah, this Monopoly, Open Bayou posted this link to this Monopoly. And what's very funny is that they had to add 4 adults to the end of it, just so you were sure, like that there would be kind of adult stuff, but then they couldn't put anything adult here. So like the chance card says on this image, your parents have been betrayed, take up their banner, which is like a way you would do a Monopoly thing, but you know that if there's
a betrayal,
there's gotta be more in this box.
I would be curious because a lot of times with these kind of licenses, they are very particular about like not damaging the license. But then again, like how can you really damage the license for Game of Thrones, a show built on brutal violence, the invention of the sex position scene where it's like we have a bunch of boring lore, let's butt fuck a whore while we're saying it.
Sex position.
So everybody will be really excited. And like, you know, incest and violence and betrayal. Like I don't think there's really a whole lot of hot button issues that show has not already trod over.
Yeah. Apparently, this Monopoly also features an Iron Throne card holder with a musical stand that plays the Game of Thrones theme song. Press the button on the stand to play it. 2 AA batteries.
One of the most iconic intro songs of all time.
Yeah.
And kids are going to grow up like, that's the thing the game plays.
Do you think that it continues past this? That we'll keep getting different Game of Thrones things, and this will be our Star Wars?
We have precursor series coming out. You know, it's like a Game of Thrones world, Westeros Knights.
But in a world where like Star Wars is cooling societally, I mean, like, it still is among, no matter how bad the movies are, Sure.
they still are in the top 5 highest grossing of the year at all times. You can literally slap that name on a pile of shit like Rogue One, don't at me, and it'll make a shit ton of money.
Wait.
Yeah. What's up, Bonnie? She's contemplative. She's contemplative.
Yeah, what you got?
Contemplative.
What you got?
I'm like trying to remember what Rogue One was.
Rogue
I
One
don't think
was
you saw it.
The heist
It
one.
did.
might not have
Is there a Star Wars I didn't see because
I
you
think
gave
there
it
are
such a?
multiple.
I think it was just one.
Did you see Solo?
Saw Solo. I enjoyed it.
Solo, again,
Yeah.
hot take. Go ahead and at me. Solo is the most fun I've had at a Star Wars movie
I had a great time.
since
I enjoyed it.
Empire
Yeah.
or Return of the Jedi. I thought it reminded me of what I loved the most out of the expanded universe.
I have a quandary though, guys. Okay, so Callie has never seen anything from the Star Wars universe, and
This is still a
somebody,
kindergartner we're talking about, right?
yeah. So she's kindergartner, and she has.
For so long. Jeez.
She has a Ray doll that she got, and now she's like Star Wars curious, and then she's like, I want to see Star Wars 1, and I'm like,
I want to see episode 1
And I'm
from
like-
the beginning, and we're like,
I don't know where to start
About that.
with any of this.
Does she watch the shows? Because I know some of the kids watch the shows in the house, right?
no, yeah, she
not
hasn't gotten into
anymore.
it.
Oh, no.
As a matter of fact, she just binged for 3-4 days straight. Watched all of Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Right.
all 3 books. It was amazing.
It was
And
adorable.
now she's on to The Legend of Korra. It's pretty great.
Yep. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, I mean, what? I guess is the question: what order should anybody watch them in?
I really don't know.
We could do the machete order.
No, what is machete? So
Oh,
outsider here,
great.
Machete Order is
hack and slash.
one of them. You skip 2, right?
No, you
Like,
skip 1.
I've
Phantom
skipped one.
Menace, full
go
stop.
right to 2.
So it goes, A New Hope.
Four,
So
uh,
4,
five.
Empire Strikes Back. Before Return of the Jedi, you go back, and I think you see Attack of the Clones, or number 2 and number 3.
Okay.
Then, so you watch Anakin's descent into. You don't have to see him as a kid or any of the goofy stuff. You watch.
How I know what pod racing is?
Okay.
I do know that one thing. I do know one
Just
thing.
explain to him what pod racing is. But then you watch Anakin fall from grace, so you believe it can happen, and then when Return of the Jedi starts off, one of the nice things you get is I mean, he's all dressed in black. What's the first thing Luke does? Is he force chokes a Gamorrean guard, and you think like, oh my God, is he embracing his dad's path, his dad's destiny? And then you get the I just got goosebumps thinking about it. But then you get the surprise at the very end of Return of the Jedi that no, he's going to redeem his dad, and so
Yeah. no.
That's that. So basically, at the point that you cliffhanger on Luke finding out that Darth Vader is his father, you then basically go into an extended 2-movie flashback.
You're like, we'll put a pin in that, and then
interesting.
now let's hear this other story.
Okay.
And then now, which of these 2 stories
interesting.
I like that.
right? Isn't that-
I
isn't that great?
do.
And so basically, you're telling the Luke story, and then you're telling the Anakin story, and then the fact that it ties together at the end, and Luke rejects the dark side, and Darth Vader embraces the light side and tosses the Emperor down a hole he's been falling down until apparently this next movie, then we are where we are.
Bonnie hasn't seen the new trailer for the new movie. There's definitely a line is spoken that, what was it? Nobody really dies, or nobody's gone forever. And
then someone speaks.
And then you hear Emperor Palpatine's laugh.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, like, you
Begin
know,
drafting Order 67.
you've got all those.
That's the teaser. Is this an old dustbin? And you're like, it's Mr. Plankett. He's like, oh, what's this? Order 67? No.
No, they do have your ghostly Obi-Wan and everything. So is it a ghostly?
Well,
I mean, there's a history of the Emperor having cloned himself in a lot of the extended universe. There's a lot of different ways that the Emperors come back in various different versions of those stories. I'm not totally against the idea of a really cool clone Emperor story. I just don't. Like, I just want, give me the Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
Maybe
they end up trying to race to find the MacGuffin in the Emperor Palpatine museum. And he's just like, yeah, it's me, Emperor Palpatine. Welcome to my museum. I'm just a hologram. But
I had not seen you there. Welcome to my museum. Please remember the suggested donation is 5 credits.
And then
They're trying to rebuild
Look,
Death
it's me
Star.
as the boy. I remember it as if it were yesterday.
an audio tour.
Yes. Well, and it's like it becomes like a video game where it's like, oh, I haven't found the lightsaber of God yet, but here's another recording. Yeah, when I first pitched Darth Vader as a name, he wasn't a fan. He said his name was Anakin, but then and he gave the worst notes. He was always no.
Click. Worst ideas. He wanted to be called Black Kill Man, and I was like, "Geez, dude, come on, what's up with that? That's a little weird. How about Darth Vader?" And he was such a bitch.
I watched the new Star Wars trailer on Twitter, and I guess I didn't either click onto it to make it full screen, or I was watching it in mute or whatever. There's a visual bit at the end where you see a thing, an old thing, and it's at a weird angle.
Is it George Lucas?
No. Okay. So there's a bit where you see a thing in the distance.
Okay.
A very big thing in the
yeah,
distance.
Oh, Jesus.
But
And the thing holds a sign saying,
but
7 out of 9 Star Wars movies agree. I'm the real star.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
The Death Star.
Oh, wow. So I wasn't really.
It's in my contract. But I have the best agents.
But so I was watching this trailer in a small form, and I was watching the scene and I couldn't make out what it was, and I was like, so what? It's some weird fucking mountains. What do you want from me?
Okay,
Because if you think it's a mountain, then it looks like super weird because there's that curve and then it curves back and you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. Where'd they shoot that in New Zealand?
Did you know the original casting call was for a moon? I went in and dazzled them so much. They rewrote the script.
No, here's the thing, Bryce, is I had the same experience because I was watching it on my phone, so it was super tiny, and I don't think I have my glasses on, so I didn't
make
know
out the
that.
detail, yeah.
I didn't know.
I see you has shared this bit, which is a reference to a text Justin and I had that I posted part of in Discord.
What is that?
I was telling Justin, I was letting Justin know that there was a new Star War happening, because he doesn't have Twitter.
I don't have Twitter on my phone, and by the way, you were the first person to tell me.
Really?
I had no idea, yeah.
And so he was asking me what the new title was, and my auto correct said the Rose of Skywalker. Which is probably a better title.
Oh my God. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually like the trailer right until the end.
Yeah.
The end just kind of soured me. But like that stuff at the beginning, like the Hitchcock kind of like out in the field with the plane coming in sort of thing, like kind of felt a little westerny, even though it's yet another fucking desert planet. Apparently all the planets are desert planets that we fuck around with on Star Wars. It was all right. It was good. I actually kind of liked it until the like, hey, remember where literally like, did you remember that there's nobody we haven't brought back yet? Ha ha! Gotcha. We force tricked you. Now we're gonna do the Emperor.
I mean, look, I don't even mind the title, but it's weird that they got Seal to sing "A Sith from a Rose" as a parody song.
Well, there's the Mandalorians in the sky up above.
You were there, shooting lasers at me.
Oh,
So,
Yeah. Man, Star Wars. What are you gonna do?
Star Wars.
Man, they're out there shooting at each other, making force jokes. Force jokes.
force jokes,
Force
force jokes, force motes.
I mean, he did. Vader did make a forced joke when
God.
he's making dad puns.
That
in
was a
Rogue One.
forced
Oops, that's
joke.
very bad.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. Well, good show. Let's just rewind it up. Play the lullaby.
I don't know. I don't feel bad. I'm at a point now with the Star. Look, everybody has your own Star Wars opinions. To be honest, actually, the biggest thing that was fatiguing about the Emperor thing was just that, like, I just didn't even want to be a part of any conversation about it. Like, now it's just going to be another thing, like with Last Jedi, where it was like, no, that's not. How dare you have the Emperor do the dance to La Cucaracha in the center of the movie? Like, it's not my Emperor.
Hashtag not my emperor.
was pretty inappropriate.
Just whatever. He's gonna. I hope he's a wacky comedic relief. That's what I hope the Emperor is. He's constantly telling people to pull his finger, and then he also shocks them with a little.
I'll tell you what, man. I am bullish on the Mandalorian, though.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's the TV show. Oh, by the way, Bonnie, I don't know if you've heard.
I don't know.
Disney Plus. That's right. You don't watch Cord Killers.
Cord Killers.com.
Disney Plus was announced, and they had a big old screen grab of the interface. 5 pillars of content. What was it like? I don't know. Crap for kids, crap for adults, crap for teens, Disney outtakes, and National Geographic. Which means if they have.
Ooh, you think so?
Which means, there we go. Yeah, Marvel. That's right. Yeah. No, I pretty much nailed it.
Yeah, Marvel.
But if they have the entire National Geographic thing, that means that Jason and I get to be Disney princesses.
Oh.
Right?
You get to be princes.
Princes.
It's
get all the shit
2019,
roles.
Bonnie. They can be whatever they want.
That's goddamn right. All the good stuff is going to the princesses.
Are
You could be
kidding?
in Wreck-It Ralph 3.
Yeah.
Or you could be
As
Aladdin.
like a servant lad.
Aladdin
Well,
was
'cause they
about
had
a
princes in the second one, right? All the Disney princesses were
Yeah.
in Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm tied up on the realizing that I don't want to be a prince. like I'm actively angry if anyone tries to make us princes.
I said princess, or I meant to say princesses, but it sounds like
like plural of princes. Yeah.
Yeah. The gender formerly known as princes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Man, what's up? These people, man, what's going on?
Yeah,
Talking
what-
on the internet?
What
the
is going
fuck?
on?
You can be a pirate.
Be a pirate,
Be
Brian.
a pirate, Brian.
Well, I mean,
Sail the 7 seas. Raise the mizzen mast.
Yep.
Yo ho ho, and a bottle of Jolly Roger rum.
a bottle of Jolly
That's what they call you when
Ranchers.
you go to Disney properties. It's pirates and princesses. Hello, pirate. That's what they say.
Wait, they
Oh,
do?
do they?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
No,
when
I
they
didn't
talk
know
to the
that.
kids, they say,
They
"Hey,
say
pirate,"
pirate?
to the boys, and they say princesses to the girls.
Ahoy! Welcome to Disney. Welcome to you and the princesses. Hey,
Although,
I thought you wanted
probably-
I'm sorry.
Probably-
Security, we have a treasured guest that needs to be attended to over in Sector 7G.
I'm just saying. Hey, where's the Space Mountain? I once was on a space between your mom's legs. I'm saying I'm Captain Morgan. I'm at Disney now.
We've talked about this on the air, but when 2010, I was hearing the tales of how they had to rein back the exposure. Captain Jack Sparrow used to be able to walk around the park and interact with people, and they put the kibosh on that shit because a lot of recently divorced women were wanting some adventurous cock. And they knew that it wasn't actually Captain Jack Sparrow, but his full-time job was to be lascivious.
Of course
and
they
to,
knew it
and
wasn't
to
the
dirty
real
talk.
Captain Jack Sparrow, a fictional person.
But the point is like, like you're play acting the first 2/3 of that journey, and it ends with a phone number and a meetup in about 2 hours. That works. And then all of a sudden, and then suddenly it was like, nope, Captain Jack comes out for 2 shows that are family friendly, and you'll never see him anywhere else.
Well, I also think there's the other stuff.
Was the issue like did it show up on like Eisner's desk at some point that it's like, hey, all right, so theme park attendance is good and we're making steady progress on the new expansions. Sir, there is one note. It appears that our Captain Jack Sparrow at both Disneyland and Disney World are, how can I put this? Crushing puss at a level never seen in the park.
It was like, oh, well, what's wrong with that? It's like, sir, you realize the structure of the Disney Princess Castle is only built to withstand a magnitude 7 quake. If this puss continues to get crushed at this level, and he's like, I told them at the shareholders meeting, they all laughed at me. They said it would never be a problem. They said that the great quake of this afternoon was just a fluke and it would never happen again.
The greedy CEO is like, the puss continues to flow.
Oh my lord.
How much puss can he crush? All of them!
Oh,
Jesus. All right. You guys
too much puss is never enough.
I'm looking at a picture of a cat right now, so this is also funny.
Goddamn right.
Well, I mean, like, I guess like, I am in all seriousness. I wonder, like, at what point does like Captain Jack have to come back to the break room and be like, "Meh, another one last night." Like I had to line them up 2 and 3 at a time.
I mean,
like I was crushing these divorcees, and then like who narcs on him? Is it Goofy?
No.
Or is it Clarabelle?
I mean, if you want a real answer, I'm certain what it is that you figure you crush 10 pusses and one of them is crazy and decides you're an asshole, and then they call to cause trouble and report you. And then you are an actuary. Oh, that's how this movie goes. Like, everything's fine at first. But it begins with a lowly actuary over in the corner who's looking at GSATs, the General Customer Satisfaction Reports. And he's like, oh, what's this right here? This big old spike. And they're like, oh, we call them noisy teeth. They happen from time to time. It's a real goofy snarl, as we say it. He's like, well, it shouldn't happen on a. He's like, what's the sample size on this? He was like, 100,000 GSATs.
Oh my God.
That's no snaggletooth. We got a real issue. And he goes to try to warn them and they laugh him out of the shareholders meeting. And then meanwhile, just fucking Captain Jack is crushing puss left and right.
I think
they
this
don't
is
even
a
realize
movie.
what trouble they have.
I think this is a real movie that needs to happen. Of course, you have to change the names on everything, but oh my God, that would be amazing. That's next year's summer. Like, they have like the Bachelorette movies or like
The shows?
I mean, it's for the people that are like, oh, we gotta have date night with all my friends, and we're gonna go out and watch a silly movie that's gonna make us laugh, and we're gonna drink wine together, and then we're gonna be like, ah.
So wait, who is this? Is this following the cast members, or are you describing another Real Housewives show?
No. This is how like they always have those like this last one was like the girl that
The Bachelorette.
No. What was we romantic comedy or something? I don't remember.
Oh, you're talking about
Rom-com
the what's her name? Rebel whoever the making fun of rom-coms while being a rom-com.
Yes, whatever that movie was. It fits
right.
perfectly in that niche. I think it's definitely got.
Of a bunch of divorcees that go to Disney looking to fuck characters.
Yeah, or okay, now I'm seeing what you're saying. You put some feeling shit in there. Guys want to see it because it looks like an action movie. Girls want to see it because of the symmetrical biceps.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you have like talking plushies. What else can you remember that bear movie that we used to cuss? Like the bear that was popular.
Ted?
Yeah.
No, wait, what? What are you even talking about?
The Seth
Are you
MacFarlane
talking about
being...
the Bear Country Jamboree?
No, but that should be part of it.
That should be part
Oh
of it.
my God, that's amazing.
It's the best show in there. No, she was not talking about Ted. That is for
No,
sure.
I
She wasn't-
was.
Oh, you were?
I
She said
yes.
Wait, you
But
were?
then- But then you hit on the jamboree. And,
Yeah.
And I could see our Captain Jack like kicking back with the bears, like getting drunk before the show or something.
Okay. Oh, so the cops are onto him, and he busts out of Pirate Land,
Yeah.
and he goes for the first time he sees the rest of the park.
Wait, cops are arresting him for being a coxman?
For being a, or maybe he gets mixed messages, and he thinks they're.
Many hearts, Captain Jack. We're gonna put you in jail.
Or like what?
a dangerous world where it's illegal to be horny.
Yeah. And meanwhile, back in the corporate office, they're like, we haven't seen a fuck string like this since Figment.
Figment? What is that?
Was it Figment the dragon?
The
Epcot
dragon.
Oh wait, Pete's Dragon?
No. It was like it might as well have been Pete's dragon, but it was like a.
Yeah, there we go. Figment.
That's a horny dragon.
That dude, yeah, he got his horns fucking everywhere.
Fucking thick, son.
Dick, look at that fucking apple bottom dragon. That dragon's got a dong.
Oh, okay. I did not have to go very far to find
Pornography.
actual fetish porn of that. All
Huzzah!
right.
No.
I told you. I tried to tell you. It's like, I'll show you dragons are real.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
Okay. Is it time to start the show yet?
Yeah. All right.
I believe,
Alright.
I believe it.
The
Is
line.
everyone?
The line is there.
Is everybody good?
I
no.
probably
Do you need
to
I
go?
should do like a
Go do
preventative
your thing.
maintenance.
Go do
fee.
your thing. Everybody, go do your thing. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, Bryce.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Are you excited for summertime's coming up?
Oh gosh.
Oh, it's gonna be busy back in the house. Though,
Yeah.
hopefully that'll be about the time when.
When everybody moves out.
When we move out.
That'll be pretty great.
Yeah.
But then like Penny's getting out of school pretty soon, and then the others have a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just busy, like,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much summer camps to do. Like,
Oh, whether they should do they normally go to like a day camp?
well, I don't know. It's been different, but
Yeah.
like Callie's big enough to go do something, and
And you don't want them
she's a handful. Like,
sitting around all day.
I know. I don't want them sitting around all day, but
I mean, if
also,
they're socializing or I don't know.
yeah. But all these camps don't let them like look at their phones during the down times, so they don't want to do camp. They're just like,
Yeah.
screw that. Like, you gonna make me just sit and
But also, like,
You
the,
know.
the day camps that I went to, I never wanted to go to either.
right.
know?
I mean, there is that.
You know, like, I don't know. I went to some because both of my parents also both worked, and they didn't want me sitting at home or, during the summer.
Yeah.
And I also went to like an after school program because they worked and they weren't home when I got off school for a while. And it's like, the kids don't really want to be there, but it's good for them to be supervised up to a certain point. And then
Yeah.
after that, they're good to fend on their own.
That's-
But summer is super weird because it's just like a long and broken stretch.
I know. We got a family reunion, I guess. And then all the money is going to a building project. I don't know if you heard about that.
I know I've heard a couple of rumblings about that thing.
So one thought is that I've been thinking about is having Penny write a play, like conscripting her to write a script, and then putting on a Brushwood Girl Jamboree at the new space or
that would be
something,
that'd
and
be
build
fun.
sets and have some stage magic in there and stuff.
Oh,
I
the
think
kids
it'd
could
be
learn
really
some
fun.
tricks. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I just walked into the last act of a long a scheme. I don't know.
We don't
We
know
were
what
thinking
to
of
do with
summer
the
activities.
kids.
Summer activity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we should definitely do that. Or we could just have them package stuff for.
Have them build
scam
the
stuff.
sets for the studio.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, certainly when I was Penny's age, I was already going out and cleaning carpets with my stepfather.
Oh,
I would wake up at 5:30 in the morning and then go clean cat pissy and dog shitty carpets all day, with the only joy being an eventual gas station hoagie. Oh, how I'd look forward to that gas station hoagie.
Oh man.
Now, yeah, you're couching that as though it was intended purely to, take advantage of free child labor. but I suspect that it was, or was it? Was that pretty much it?
I mean,
Mostly, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Mostly.
All right.
Well, because at the end of the day, it still sucked ass for my stepdad to go clean carpets, and it was easier if he had somebody just holding the hoses and pulling the hoses and re-racking the hoses. So it was definitely like, for whatever, like, oh, get out of the house, make a little money, like, side benefit. It was definitely also beneficial for him to have another set of hands.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we
all right.
feeling this?
I think we're good. One last second here. I'm gonna hit some buttons, and then we'll start the show. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go. Boom, boom.
Well,
There we go. All right, here we go.